You know, I had one that had seizures from the time he was a puppy. They told me 3 or 4 years. 14. With love.
The meeting of the Mohave County Housing Authority Board of Directors for April 4th, 2022 at 8:30 a.m. is called to order. Call the roll. Need to say the whole thing again? No. The whole spiel. We need to call the roll, Secretary.
Director Bishop?
Present.
Director Deal?
Here.
Director Lingenfelter?
Present.
Director Johnson? Chairman Gould?
Here.
And Director Sadler and Director Angus are not present.
Thank you. Approval of the minutes of the October 18th, 2021 meeting.
Chairman Gold, so moved.
I'll second.
For that motion and second, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. The ayes appear to have it, do have it, so ordered. Report from the director.
Morning, Chairman Gould, supervisors. I'd like to give you an update on our, I don't hear it, no.
The green light on?
No.
You have to push it. No.
Chairman Gould, supervisors. I'm sorry, Chairman Gould, Board of Supervisors. I'd like to give you an update on our vouchers. The total vouchers for Section 8 is 234. Our VAST vouchers are 195. Our mainstream vouchers are 115. Our Foster Youth Initiative is 4. And the emergency housing vouchers, the last one that was approved by the Board of Supervisors, is 26. The Kingman Veteran Villas currently has 48. They're full. Supportive housing programs, Fresh Start, 24. Samaritan Program, 14. Bridge Subsidy Program, 5. HOPA Program, 22. In regards to the Emergency Rental Assistance Program, I wanted to give an update on that as well, moving forward. That program, we're still waiting to hear from the Treasury. Board of Supervisors gave us permission to go back and apply for those funds. They are in the process of redoing their application process to allow for that submittal. As soon as we receive that information that we can resubmit, we will on that. Our program and funding has all been expended at this time. So, as you've heard, not the last Board of Supervisors, but at a Board of Supervisor meeting. So that funding has been expended. We also, moving on, approval for the HUD. We actually submitted the HUD for approval so we could increase the fair market value. So with all of our new contracts, we've increased those. So when you look at it, one bedroom went from $842 to $919, from two bedroom, $1,065 to $1,162. And those go on, so forth and so on, for 3 bedroom and 4 bedroom as well. So I wanted to just give an update that we did that to help the residents of the county as well. And that concludes my report on that section, unless there's any questions.
Thank you, sir. Item 4, the financial report for the period of April 1st, 2021 through March 31st, 2022.
Chairman Gold, we have an item 2 to discuss possible housing
You are
schedule.
right. Let's go on to item 3, number 2.
Thank you, Chairman Gould. Supervisor Bishop. So we've been working on this for quite some time. When I got here, there was no housing study done with some supervisors' direction as well from their input. We've been working and developing a housing study. What that will look like is we will be looking at the whole county as a general, the whole county. And in that, we're looking at different projects that could be done. So we're looking at LIHTC, we're looking at development, so where's our water supplies, different things of that nature for growth, as well as the different economics that will be playing forth within the housing study, so it'll be a complete housing study. We definitely plan on bringing that back to the board as well, as we had discussed prior. So that was just more of an informational thing that, like I said, it should be completed. The scope of work should be completed by the end of the month, and we should be getting ready to bring that back to the board. So I just wanted to share that update.
Questions for Mr. Smith?
Chairman Gould.
Supervisor Bishop?
Thank you, Michael, and I'm happy to hear that this is ongoing, but I don't recall you giving an estimated date of when it might be presented back to the board.
So I'm thinking it's going to be completed in April, scope of work, so we'll probably bring that back to the board sometime in May, one of the board meetings in May. It'll be coming back.
And then will it be broken down into supervisory districts or communities? How are you
Chairman Gould, Supervisor Bishop, thank you for that question. So this is a countywide program, right? So this is a housing study. So we're not looking at a particular district of any area. It's the whole county we will be evaluating and moving forward with. So it will be comprehensive for the county.
Okay, and can you explain for those listening what this is going to do for Mohave County residents? How you'll be able to use this study to benefit our residents?
Sure, definitely. So this will be great because this will be an opportunity for us to really identify the gaps in needs assessment. So when you look at housing, normally, when you think of housing, normally there's a gap between the people that can afford it and the people that can't. And somewhere in between there for the working class, so kind of like when we talked about the presentation for the last one that I did. So somewhere between 80% and 120% of area median income, that's typically where you're going to see your workforce gap. So really looking at that and seeing where that is. And the reason that's important is because if we address those needs, we can get more workers here to Mohave County. It's hard to bring in businesses and do those other things that we're trying to do without the housing and availability. And two, once we do that, it will also identify areas where if the board were to choose to, we could apply for the low-income house tax credit, or if the board didn't decide to do that, a community member can do that as well. It doesn't have to be done through the county, but it will give them options to understand where are the best places suited within the county that meet all of the qualifications for the LIHTC program as well.
So can we afford to do this ourselves without grant monies?
So we have funding within our program to be able to do that, and I believe there's some other grant funding as well that we have. So we do have some through our when HUD moved one of our programs over, there was some reserve money that was left to allocate program development or program funding ongoing. It's a reserve program. So they closed out one of the HUD programs, and that money was left in an account within the Community Services Department to be able to address these needs, this particular need, as well as other needs as they come up within the HUD domain.
Okay, and will this address the need for affordable housing, like tiny houses or anything along those lines that the people that are at a disadvantage might be able to afford?
Chairman Gould, Supervisor Bishop. Yeah, I mean, that is correct. So, I mean, when you look at the housing study, they're going to be looking at all forms of housing, right? So they're going to be looking at stick-built, manufacturing, tiny homes, where they should be developed, so forth and so on. So it's going to be a complete housing study.
Okay, thank you. That's all my questions. Thank you, Chairman.
Supervisor. Any further questions for Mr. Smith?
Chairman Gould.
Supervisor Lingerfelter.
Director Smith, to build upon Supervisor Bishop's comments, which I appreciated, I know for a fact that the city of Lake Havasu, James Gray with the PED down there, they're already doing a housing study for Lake Havasu. I've just recently been informed that city of Kingman is going to be doing their own housing study. I just want to make sure that you're going to incorporate their studies. It doesn't make sense to do two studies in areas like that you'd want to probably incorporate their studies, which are going to be a little bit more precise for their area. I think it's great to do a county-wide study, but you look at the sheer geographic size of Mohave County and completely different, a lot of different areas, so appreciate it.
Chairman Gould, Supervisor Lincolnfelter, I totally agree with you, and I have been working with the PED. Lisa Van Ellis sits on the workforce, and she's also the chair of that committee. And I definitely had an opportunity to review both of those proposals, and yes, we will be looking at both of those. And when we reach out, if that is the organization, Mr. Pollack's organization, I'm familiar with that group, we'll send it out for RFP, and we'll definitely use that information as well. Thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Further questions for Mr. Smith? Hearing none. I'm going to move on to item 4, the financial report for the period of April 1st, 2021 through March 31st, 2022.
I'll answer any questions if there are any.
Questions for Mr. Smith? Item 5. I'm going to open the public hearing requesting comments from the public pertaining to the MCHA. Anybody here from the public that would wish to comment? Hearing none. I'm going to close the public hearing. Moving on to item 6, discussion possible action, adoption of a resolution 2021-01 authorizing submission of MCHA's civil rights certification.
Chairman Gould, this is an annual thing that we do. We do this every year. There's nothing new here. Same form as last year.
Okay. Questions for Mr. Smith? Hearing none. Do we need a motion on that?
Chairman Gould,
Supervisor Lingenfelter.
I'll motion to approve resolution 2021-01.
Second.
You've heard that motion in second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. The ayes appear to have it. Do have it. So ordered. Call to the public. Any member of the public wishing to address the board? Hearing none. Announcements? Do you have any announcements? Hearing none. Looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
You've heard that motion second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. We're adjourned.